Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Medieval 2 Total War, the English campaign. I apologise in advance if I end up calling this the Britain's campaign at some point, because it will probably just be a force of habit after the Rome Total War series. But we're continuing straight from where we left off last time, where we've taken over Rennes. We're in the process of sieging this Welsh castle, and now we're gearing up for an inevitable war with the Scottish, because we need to unify England before we start to move down into Europe, just to make sure our assets are secure, our economy is strong, and we don't have anyone stabbing us in the back. Now we have an interesting thing here, because the entire Scottish army is currently on this one boat. No doubt moving forward to take over settlements down south. They only have one ship. I have an English fleet here with 2 vessels in it, so I could, if I wanted to, attack this fleet right now. And because if I'm able to sink it, the Scottish will lose their entire army, and all they'll have left is the faction leader, King Malcolm, who's quite old, and 1 unit left back here. But there is a worry in the sense that if I failed to destroy the fleet, because I no doubt need to attack it more than once, if I attack it now and they retreat further than what I attack it, then I can attack it again, then they could potentially land this army in England and lay siege to London. And since I've got most of my army up in York and in Wales, I won't be able to respond in time if they were to lay siege to London or Nottingham, because these settlements are very poorly guarded with basic peasants and levies. So, first off, I'm actually going to cancel this wooden wall and build a road, since it only takes 1 turn, and I can build the walls afterwards, because then we can get a bit of money in from trade while the wall is building. And that's actually saved me a bit of money, which I could see about using Nottingham perhaps. I'm intending to change this into a city once England is secure, so I can have a strong economic base on the island. Caen, I'm currently building a practice range for longbowmen. Rennes, I'm building the roads, so it's just Nottingham I need to build something. And just for now, I'm going to I'll probably just build communal farming, since that will keep over once I convert it to a castle. Or do I want to train some more troops? Because I need to watch my army upkeep, because the taxes and the king's purse are just covering the army upkeep and wages, and then the rest is just going towards my building and such. So farming in the early game is generally a good source of money, so you know what, I'm going to go for farming and help this grow a bit quicker once it starts to become a city. So outside of that, I think for now I need to get this spy leveled up, because once I finish with Scotland, I'll need to send him to scout out in Europe. So since I have a 95% chance to spy on this cardinal, it won't give me any useful information, but just to get his skill up, I'm going to do it. And we also get some movies here. So Richard is skulking in to investigate. Huh. Oh yes, he's disguising himself as a soldier. Although was that really necessary? I wouldn't expect well, he might have some armed guards, but we'll see. So the Scottish actually got themselves a rather good cardinal here. Divine connection, the strong faith, the cardinal, and a monk himself. Oh yeah, I don't need to shoot it. So, oh, his skill didn't go up. That's irritating. But in terms of the Pope, His Holiness feels neither ill or good, so that's gone down a bit. College of Cardinals, so we have Aston the Cardinal, Halston the Corrupt. Is that Denmark or Poland? I'm not sure. That's Genoa, I believe. That's 2 corrupt cardinals. Interesting. And Domingo the Warmonger of Spain. Imagine if he became Pope. The Pope would be known as a warmonger. Interesting. So cardinals are fairly even for now, so ideally I'd want to recruit more priests and get them preaching and eradicating heresy, and then I could have more influence in the College of Cardinals and potentially get one of my priests to become the next pope, which would certainly help with my papal relations and potentially increase the chances of going for a crusade. Thing is, because attacking the Scottish fleet would be quite a risk. If I let them land in Europe and have them besieging these settlements, they would have a foothold in England, but since their entire army would be bogged down... How many troops could I feasibly leave in York? Because it's got high... So if I take everyone but a unit of archers... York's okay with that. I can attack Edinburgh right now, and if the Scottish try to respond, if they lose their one settlement, then their army will instantly go rebel unless they are able to take over Antwerp before then. But if I attack Edinburgh while they're in Europe, they'd probably get back on the boats and try to sail back to save Edinburgh. It's poorly guarded. They do have a faction leader in there, which means a lot of heavy cavalry, but I do have spearmen. You know, I'm going to do that. I don't want to risk them encouraging them to land. I don't know. Although, if I do it like... if I attack Edinburgh while they're in Europe, I can perhaps attack the fleet and drive away from the army so they can't get back to England. I'm going to do that. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. So let's see how the Scottish and all the other factions respond over the next turn. Reinforced region, Nottingham. The council suggests you increase our force here by at least 4 units. You'll be rewarded with some military units. The thing is, I don't know what those 4 units are going to be. And I need to watch my army upkeep. So the Scottish fleet actually sailed back up here, so they've probably seen my army coming this way, and they're thinking, oh Jesus Christ, the English are coming. Which, you know, the AI is generally terrible in Rome Total War games, but they can be somewhat smart at times, annoyingly so. So now we're going to build a wooden wall in Rennes. You know, I'm probably just going to rename these settlements just to avoid me butchering the pronunciation. So, Rennes... I'm just going to call it that, just so I can know it's Rennes. So, Cecilia, unfortunately, isn't going to be able to seduce any Scottish generals, so we're going to move her up towards the Danish and the Roman, and the Holy Roman Empire, while Lawrence here is going to go down here to have a word with the Portuguese and the Spanish. Our merchant is... oh, he's a capitalist now. His finance is up to level 3, and he's getting us a bit of extra money per turn, which is absolutely lovely. In the meantime, London, I don't think there's really anything you can build. Actually, how much is land clearance? 600. Squalor isn't so bad right now. I did want to get this upgraded as soon as possible, but hold off on the wall for now. Get land clearance, and London. Oh, there isn't that. A leather tanner would be useful in the long run, because London's probably going to be no, you know what? Forget it. Get the wall, because Kane is going to be our main source of troops. Obviously, cities. Military troops from cities are good for bolstering armies, especially since they're a good source of spearmen. But I ideally want to invest in this castle, hence why I'm building things like a practice range for longbowmen, because I want longbowmen, proper archers with armor-piercing ammunition or arrows. Yes, please. And oh, why'd you have to? Christ, whatever. Right, so where's that Scottish fleet gone? We just landed up right next to it. Admiral Donald. Well, you know what? I think we're overdue a bit. I think it's time. The Scottish didn't actually train any more units. Interesting. Perhaps they've Used all of their... Ah, now I've got a trait increase. He's a proper spy now, which means... more cunning than most of the Night Watch, but not all of them. So you get a bit of extra skill. So now I'm going to move you towards Ireland, and there's Dublin. It's got no walls, but it has got quite a few units in it, so we'll need to muster a bit of a force. But we'll probably take over the north of Scotland before then, so we get an extra castle, although I will convert that to a city. Right, Edinburgh. Sorry, Scotland, but I'm afraid your time is up. Right, there are no hostilities between you and the settlement's owners. If you attack now, it will be considered a declaration of war. I'm afraid it is war, Scotland.
By your will, sire, we shall engage.
Relations worsen because I just walked into their territory, and relations are going to get even lower as we swing our sword at Edinburgh. Hello, Scotland.
Laying siege, noble sire.
Right, we'll only... I'll just get a whole lot of ladders so I can get all of my men up on the walls, because I'm guessing that second unit is an infantry unit. So, okay, so Scotland is poor because I walked into their territory, war with England and Scotland, and now Scotland has very poor relations with me. I wonder why. So the Pope isn't angry at me right now. Not enough papal favour points to request a crusade. I'm guessing the Pope will probably intervene if I continue on this war. Right. Let's see. But now the Scottish fleet. So we've got twice as many ships. That's a clear victory, and they've gone up north. That's a trait increase. Can we catch them? Christ, they must have retreated all the way back up there. That is a worry though, because they could potentially land at Edinburgh next turn, and that's a huge Scottish army, so I wouldn't be able to take them on with just Prince Rufus. Probably would have been better to try to move my ships over here to try and block them. That's a potential problem, we'll have to see. In the meantime though, London, nothing at London. I could get some more troops. I could potentially just recruit a whole load of peasants and get some free military units. It doesn't say what they are though. They could be infantry, they could be cavalry, and if they're cavalry, I'm not going to be able to afford that. But we'll have to see. Moving on to the next turn then. Oh dear. The Pope immediately told me to stop attacking Scotland. You may be excommunicated. That was quick. But since I'm technically already besieging the settlement, would taking it over count as... Right, so we've got a town watch in York, so I can start recruiting troops there. Just basic town militia. You're definitely going to need land clearance to start growing. As for London, I could get you communal farming. Okay, 1 turn left for a practice range, then we can recruit longbowmen. I'm going to get communal farming for now, just so we can get a bit of extra growth and money out of our settlements. So where'd that Scottish fleet go? Because it hasn't... There it is. But if I attack them, that will result in excommunication. So I'm going to move back here and hopefully try to block them. Although they could... I don't know. By the way, let's find out if attacking Edinburgh... If I spied on him again, would I get extra points? I don't know what we'll do. But we'll see. I wonder if he'll... Because factions... All remaining faction armies and units become rebel once they lose their last settlement. So I wonder if this cardinal will become a heretic or disappear. We'll find out. Because Edinburgh is going to fall. So King Malcolm with spear militia. So the spear militia will be on the walls, but they'll be greatly outnumbered. King Malcolm's the main threat here, but as long as enough of my spear militia survive, then we should be able to just wear him down slowly on the plaza. The balance of power is actually even. Probably because the balance of power is always very strongly in the defenders, because wall defences in this game are quite more severe than they are in Rome, and especially when it comes to castles. towers are nasty. Right, so we're not going to wait for them to come to us. This is actually going to be a proper full siege where we're attacking a settlement. So we're going to get our men to essentially just swarm over the walls, and I'm not going to put my archers up on the walls. You can drop those ladders and just stay there for the time being. And the rest of you, so are they on the wall? Okay, so they're on this part of the walls. So actually, if I send these guys up here first, and I would... What do you mean you can't attack that section of wall? Fine, you guys go over there, and you guys attack that section. So let's see if they respond to this. And if they do start running over here, then I can just send in these guys on their ladders. And they're responding. Right, go to it. See, in this game you can actually have troops run using ladders, not just walk. Alright, so all of you move in. They're going to reach this section of wall. These guys unfortunately have to turn their ladders around because they can't attack this section because apparently it's just a bit too small. In the meantime, these guys are going to... They've stopped, so they're now guarding this section of wall. But they're not using this tower right now. Unfortunately, this means they have activated the gatehouse, which is firing even more arrows to us. But hopefully these guys, their morale should start wavering. I should have checked King Malcolm's stats, whether he has any morale bonuses. But units... Warfight... When in Rome, if a unit's morale broke while it was on the wall, it just stood there fighting to the death. But here, if a unit breaks on the wall, they will try to get off the wall. In the sense they will climb down and will run back to the plaza. And they're actually running... Why is this... Okay, that tower's... Oh. The towers briefly are deactivating, so this actually works in our favour. We aren't taking as much in the way of arrow fire. So they're going to be attacked from this side, they're going to be attacked from this side, and they're going to be attacked from this side. Excellent. The annoying thing is, if I tell my men to attack too quickly, then they'll stop using those ladders and come over this one, which I really don't want, because then they'll be completely bottlenecked. So these guys, they are going to take quite a few casualties since they are slowly trickling into the walls. And what? That guy was on their heads briefly, and it looks like a bit of a dance right now. Right, they're shaken. I need to get my general up closer. Okay, you lot move into the attack, and you lot do the same. They're shaken, but still holding, thankfully. And see, this is what's happening. Now they're using the... Don't use these ladders. Thankfully, we have got some men coming this way who are moving in to assist. Right, we've captured their walls, and they haven't broken, but they're leaving the walls. Probably because I just took them. Either way, this works for us. Because now their forces are split. They need to try to get back up onto the walls, and... Oh, we just lost it. And... Oi! I told you to come and help. Don't just stand there. Help us. Right. Get the archers coming up here because I'm probably going to need them. We're currently fighting over the gatehouse right now, but thankfully... Okay, this poor unit of spearmen has taken quite heavy casualties, but thankfully they're holding thanks to these reinforcements here. Yep. War fighting can be very costly in this game now, even if it's just... Okay, they're broken. Good. Right, they've now lost control over the walls. If you guys would be so kind as to quickly move up here, I'm going to get the archers and the general in here. And, yeah, which is a tug of war over the gatehouse right now. So the plaza, and... Oh, the general's back here. I was wondering there was an empty plaza. But actually, this works in our favour because there's a nice open street leading straight to the plaza. So my archers can get a few shots in. They won't do much damage to the general, but every little bit helps right now. In fact, I'm going to see... I've got the general coming in now. I'm going to see if I can run down those spear militia because they're trying to reunify after escaping from the walls. Oh, you're not going to get far, I'm afraid, because I've got some... I said you're not going to get far. I hope you're not, because I want to... What's King Malcolm doing? Come on, hurry up, guys. Run them down. I said run them down. Cavalry is very awkward to use in tight city streets. You know what? Forget it. Right, so I want to leave these guys back here just guarding the gates. But my full strength units of spear militia can come this way. Okay, they've reformed on the plaza. King Malcolm, what are you doing? I'm not sure, but if I can actually get my spear militia onto the plaza, we could potentially take it and hold it. Because in Rome, the defenders only needed 1 unit on the plaza to hold it. But in medieval, if the attackers have more units on the defenders if the attackers have more units on the plaza than the defenders, then the attackers take the plaza, and the defenders will have to get more units on the plaza within 3 minutes. Otherwise, they will lose. Right, so I'm going to get my archers coming up this way, and they're going to essentially get some free pot shots on the spear militia. And if King Malcolm's just content just doing a little dance there, then the plaza will be ours. Right, fire at will. And here they come. Let's see if this gets King Malcolm to respond. No, he's just content to just run in circles. Alright, spear militia, in you come. Just 2 units left. Okay, archers, hold your fire. Yep, we've taken the city right now. Right, those spear militia are dead. Let's see if King Malcolm responds. He's not. Okay then. Well, unfortunately, this right here is the last stand of Scotland. King Malcolm's general's bodyguard are just content to run around in circles while the timer ticks down as we take over the plaza. Congratulations, King Malcolm. The historians will remember your valiant defence of Scotland. These general bodyguards just running around in circles back here as England claims victory. The end. So it counts as an average victory. We did lose quite a lot of spear militia, but they are just spear militia. They can be very easily retrained. We healed a few at least, but hey ho. So with that, Scotland comes to an end.
By God's will, we have triumphed. God be praised. He
Right.
has granted us victory.
So Edinburgh isn't too happy with us right now, but I'm not going to sack or exterminate it because while the money will be very good, but I want this settlement to grow. Plus, I guess the cardinal just disappeared. Yeah, the cardinal just died. So Prince Rufus now has a bit of extra chivalry to his name. He's noble in rule and such. And that Scottish fleet up there just turned into an army of pirates. And Edinburgh, he's an aspiring commander. The Papal States really doesn't like me anymore. And Scotland, what do you know? They don't like us. So the Pope, oh. So, hang on. Noble in rule, that's all good. Cardinal dies, Scotland, of course. Scotland is no more. I was expecting Scotland to put up a bit more of a defence, but sadly no. However, let's just check. Public order. We have been excommunicated. Alright, so I guess the warning doesn't actually display if you're going to assault a settlement that's already under siege. Alright. Well, we're less than 10 turns into the game and we've already just got ourselves excommunicated. I'm not a religious person, but that's quite something. So, unfortunately, Aston is still a cardinal, apparently. He's a bishop. So,
God's servant.
well, he's got quite a few traits. Divine connection, good. Strong faith, good. Cardinal, yes, he's still a cardinal. He's aggressive, upstanding, and orthodox. Interesting. Right, so the London region is slowly getting more Catholic right now. Edinburgh, I'm going to keep the tax rate up just because I need to keep some money coming in. I can retrain the spear militia. Excellent. So let's actually do a bit of merging. just to reduce the... Actually... Yes! I only need to retrain one now. So let's get some land clearance going. I could... And with that... apparently this caused public order to go up a bit. Alright. So we only need to retrain one unit of spear militia right now. And once we get some more troops coming in... York... Inverness... It's been damaged, yeah. The troops here will be wounded because of the previous Scottish attack. And I don't think rebel units can retrain, and they can't repair. So Inverness is slightly weakened, that's good to hear. It can hold out for 5 turns, but maybe I'll see Ben attacking it, but whatever. So that's over, let's just drop a quick save. I will try to avoid save scumming, but we'll see. And hello. That's a Danish princess.
My lord,
Hello, Ingrid.
an honor, my lord. How may I help you?
Oh dear, Cecilia's gone down. But power pathetic. Denmark! I'm assuming you wouldn't want an alliance. But what if I offer you map information and trade rights? And how much money do I have left? No, not a regular tribute. A single payment of 107. How would you like that?
I do not think you would accept
Ah.
my position. Something else.
Alright, what about trade rights?
Let us not take
What? Trade rights makes money for both of us. Oh dear. And Cecilia, oh, she's got a secret love now. Right, so our discussions with the Danish didn't go so well. Alas. Maybe I should have offered them a gift. Free map information always seems to go well. But, whatever. Scotland is no more. We've gotten ourselves excommunicated, so we're probably going to need to start to get some troops coming out in order to defend ourselves. Right, I've got a practice range next turn so we can get some longbowmen. 560 a pop though. That's going to be a bit expensive. Let's just double check the building browser. So barracks is castles. That's armory, heavy billmen, armoured swordsman. When do we get armoured swordsman? In a barracks. Armoured swordsman, they're going to be our 22 defence. Yes, they're going to be our main frontline heavy infantry once we start to get our technology up. Cities. Barracks drill square. Billman. We can get billmen in a city. No, that's a castle. Wrong one. Town guard. Archer militia. Bill militia. Heavy bill militia. Army barracks. I'm trying to think. Military academy. Demi lancers. What are those? More mobile and cheaper to equip, so less armoured knights with less armour. That's a new longbowman. So I just want to check something. Armour factory, siege works. I'm trying. Hang on. I'm trying to look for troops that aren't actually in the tech tree yet. Sorry. Anyway, that's it. So this coming turn, the Welsh rebels here are going to assault us, and they have longbowmen. So we're going to need to make sure that King William takes out those longbowmen as quickly as possible. Let's see how that goes. Ah, the Holy Roman Empire have come to talk to us. Excellent. What do they want? What do they want?
We have word for you.
Of course, trade rights. I would love trade rights. Can I make an offer of my own?
Opposition for the Reich?
I'm getting the feeling they wouldn't want to ally with me because I'm... They wouldn't want to ally with me because I'm excommunicated. But if I... So our relations are so... If we offer map information as a gift...
Agreed. I accept your proposal.
Relations reasonable.
Something else? Das ist gut.
Alliance... What if I were to actually give you all of my regions? No, that's not happening. If I clicked make offer by accident, then that would be nasty. If I offer you military access... And a single payment of 107. That's still demanding. Right, forget it.
Thank you for your time.
That's a Portuguese princess right there. I want to have a word with her, get some trade rights going. Here come the rebels. Okay then. So, what do they have? Captain Simon. That's a lot of longbowmen. But peasants, Welsh spearmen, they have very little they have no heavy infantry and practically no front line, since spearmen will not last. I've got 3 units of cavalry here. That's 1 for each unit of these longbowmen. Excellent. This shouldn't be too hard. Right, so they're going to quickly run out to attack. So everyone here, drop the siege equipment, because we're not going to need it. So, spear, infantry group up. Now group up with them as well, just so I've got the cavalry in one section. Annoyingly enough, hang on, can I do this? There we go, that's easier. So, spear militia, I want to come back a bit, just so that I can keep them away from the walls. Town militia, make up a line behind them as backup. Peasant archers, I actually want you in the back, because I think the cavalry can win this just fine. The hobblars, I want you around here to chase down fleeing units. But King William, come back here. And the mailed knights over here, you guys are going to hit the archers, while the infantry takes on the spearmen and the peasants. So the cavalry are going to get into position quite quickly. I just want to make sure that we're far back away enough that the longbowmen need to line up in order to hit us, and so they're away from the walls, so we won't get shot to pieces. And there's a bit of a Welsh mosh party here, as they all try to scramble to get out of the gates, but those are peasants. The mailed knights, oh, they're just begging to be charged right now, sending their longbowmen ahead like that. I think they're going to need to get into formation in order to start shooting. And oh, this is too perfect. Are those the longbowmen? You know what? King William, in you go. Mailed knights, in you go. The spearmen are back here. They're not going to do much. They're not going to get there in time. The longbowmen are up front. Hobblers, get around the side. I need you to chase down all the fleeing units. Oh, the spearmen are coming up, but they're not actually going to do much. Here comes the charge. Oh, yes. And they didn't break, oddly enough. Oh, they've broken. Oh, it's because they're all so scattered. I'm guessing I ended up hitting multiple troops at once. Those Welsh longbowmen are separated. Mailed knights, go for them. And oh, some of the hobblers got caught in the back. I can probably win this with just the cavalry right now. There goes the captain. That's going to cause the break, no doubt. Come on, where's the breach? Welsh longbowmen, Welsh spearmen. The peasants are broken, but they're just peasants. I'm guessing since they're longbowmen, they count as higher tier. Oh, King William, get away from those spearmen. General's bodyguards are tough, but when they get caught by spearmen like that, they're going to have a nasty time. The mailed knights, I can have them. Ah, Christ. Why are AI units always so stubborn at the worst of times? Were they forming a skiltrum there? Okay, they've broken. Good. King William, get in there. Hobblers chase down those guys. Mailed knights, get out of there. Right, chase them down. All these Welsh spearmen are just charging right. Oh, I can zoom in like that. That's handy. Need to remember that. They're still charging. Here comes King William. Turn around. Sandwich them. Oh, sandwiched. That wasn't as much of a charge as I was hoping, but they've broken. Very nice. Right, now that they've been pretty much completely decimated, cavalry please line up. And we pretty much need to wait for them to come to us now, unfortunately. Here come the Welsh longbowmen. Get King William moving just in case they are... Oh, they're going to get a shot off. They did, but I think they stopped because they've got cavalry charging at them. King William, get in there. They've broken. The peasants won't last long. Get the hob... I'm probably going to end up calling them scouts at some point out of confusion with the Danish scouts. Go on, get in there. Make them all break. Just make them all break. They're on skirmish mode. There we go. Okay, so admittedly, some of the troops I lost were high quality mailed knights. I've recovered 2, so I've lost 13 mailed knights. But I can always retrain them back at Nottingham. So just like that, Wales is now ours. And we're going to occupy it. I think the main problem I did with... Hello. Henry! Right, we've got new... So, I think his dread status just went down. Or did it? Mean leader, cruel and cunning. Conquering hero. He's a conquering hero, of course, William the Conqueror, but... I can actually retrain them right here and now. Excellent. Let's do that quickly. We've actually got quite a bit of money in the kitty. Very nice. So, end of turn report. Largest faction. Christ, our kingdom is truly going to become an empire. We've only just occupied most of England and already we've got the largest faction status. Excellent. So, Henry, of course, coming of age. King William the Conqueror. Oh, he's lost his cruel leader status. That's what's happening. So, he's just a mean leader now. So, communal farming. Practice range for Cain. Oh, yes. Right, so retraining spear militia is all good. France doesn't like us. So, Rennes, you definitely could do with a port actually for trade. But with war with France is going to be inevitable at some point, so I probably want to focus right for these. For England itself, I'm going to focus on economic buildings. For these two, I'm going to focus on, oh yes, longbowmen, definitely get one of those. I'm going to focus on military buildings, so for the time being a drill square for billmen could be handy. Attack 15, defense 3. On the open field, could be handy as a flanking force, but in a city siege, defense needs to be important because you're constantly taking arrow fire. Ballista maker, stables. Stables aren't actually as useful because you get most of your heavy cavalry from the castle itself. I'm going to go for a leather tanner so I can get my guy some armor. And Rennes, definitely get a port is useful, but get a town watch just for now, just so at least you're capable of training soldiers. And kind of, could possibly do with a spy out here. I can't recruit one yet, but that's a Moorish diplomat. Hello. They're Islam, but they wouldn't want an alliance. How would you like some trade rights? Barely accepted. How would you like to swap map information? Well, we've got something at least. So, there's port. Oh, I can't. It's rather annoying that you can only have one diplomatic envoy mission at once. But here's the Moorish territory. They've got part of North Africa as well as 2 settlements, a castle and a city. Is that a castle as well? No, that's a city. In the south of Spain. So they're no doubt going to have some strong rivalries with the Spanish and the Portuguese. Spain tends to be quite a mosh pit of conflict at first, from what I've seen. Nottingham, I don't think I want to convert it just yet. I definitely want to convert you, though. Convert you to a town, and I'm going to rename you to Wales just to make it easier. So you're going to be converted. Oh, hang on. How long is that going to take? 1 turn. Get roads first, just so I can get these guys retrained. In the meantime, William the Conqueror. Because Prince Rufus is the faction heir. And I want to make sure that he sees plenty of battle. He's going to see some battles out here in Scotland and Ireland, but that's just 2 settlements. First off, I want to get my spy down into Europe, into France, to keep an eye on these settlements down here. So I've got a strong enough force in Edinburgh right now. If I just get myself a whole load of spear militia, and that's a strong force. York, get some town militia. I need to get... I need to get those damn brigands out of the way before I can reinforce Edinburgh from York. Wales, in the meantime, I'm not going to have much use for all of these troops here. So, Henry, you're very good. 16. I've got a tutor, a night fighter, which is a very good trait because it allows you to do night fights and fighting at night. Attacking an enemy and fighting at night means they can't be reinforced unless the forces that are reinforcing them have a general which also has the night fighter trait. But we definitely need to get some use for you. So for the time being, Henry, take all of the infantry and fairly loyal, but hopefully they'll go up because William has good authority. Take everyone but the cavalry and move forth. I need to get you on the ship with the spy into France because then I need to, if I can take over a few of these rebel settlements, that gives me a good little power base here to start pushing south. Regions controlled 7 already, which is very nice, but I need to make, at some point, I'm going to need to make my way down into into Egypt to take over Jerusalem. Sicilia, in the meantime, there's Hamburg. Taken over by the Imperials. We've already spoken to them, though. Maybe we can talk with the Danish again. See if we can get any kind of deal out of them. There's Henry, Nottingham. Don't quite yet have the money to turn you into town, but I'm going to get some town militia recruited here so I can probably move some of these troops into Caen. We're currently building a town watch so I can start to train spear militia. Wales, Edinburgh, anything else? No, I think we're just going to move to the next turn and see what goes from there. So, nothing of interest really happened, though the Portuguese princess is... Damn it. Oh, there she is. And there's Bordeaux, rebels. Hello, Portugal. Would you like a word? So, it is said that even this man's wife barely takes heed of what he says. I'd actually read that before. Right, I'm assuming you won't want an alliance. What if I offered you trade rights? They always say this. How would you like map information for map information? Alright, stop being such a poof. Anyway, that's all we really need, so... Excuse me? Whatever. Time to come down and have a work, because we saw a Spanish princess, but she's all the way up near where my merchant is. So, sadly, we'll need to walk all the way down to Spain to speak with them. Right, Wales now has dirt roads, recruitment report. Ah yes, longbowmen. England now has its first longbowmen, and they were trained in Caen. Welcome. Right, you've now got a spear militia. Excommunication is causing a permanent public order penalty to this settlement. What if merge you, merge you, merge you, merge you? Could I feasibly... I'll need some troops in Caen to help guard it, because right, it's got some spearmen and longbowmen, and then in a castle they're a lot easier to defend, and they've got much stronger defences. But it's going to need some backup. But of course, I just hate the idea of moving troops around without a general, because I'm always terrified that they're going to go rebel, even with high authority. But I prefer to have, if we're under attack by the French, I prefer to have my general here, Robert, secure in a castle rather than a town. So I'm going to take him in 2 units of spear militia. And you're going to travel north to Caen. Any mercenaries? Lots of mercenary crossmen, which are very powerful. And mercenary spearmen are also very good. Attack 7, defense 14. Mercenary crossmen can be devastating. 12 missile attack, effective against armor and long-range missiles. But they're more expensive than my longbowmen. With a slightly higher upkeep, I believe. Let's see. Missile attack 12, defense 7. Missile attack 6. So they cost a bit less. Mercenary crossmen do have more of a punch, but the longbowmen do fire quite a bit faster. So I'm probably just going to stick with longbowmen unless I'm desperate for ranged units. Oh, we can upgrade Edinburgh to a stone wall. Definitely want to do that. Wales, it's now time for you to be converted into a town, or a city rather, just a town, yeah. And actually, I'm going to leave the town militia back there as guardians, because I want to take the heavy cavalry with me. And combining into a huge force indeed. Right, so William the Conqueror, you're getting a bit old, but I don't want you to just sit around somewhere. But honestly, I'd rather not have you command an army if you're at risk of dying of natural causes. We're going to move you guys down towards London.
We go no further today.
And London has some spear militia and peasants ready. I'm going to get some town militia recruited in London. Actually, York needs a building. Scratch that order. Can I build anything useful? A grain exchange could be useful, but buildings like those have very little. Look, it's causing us just under 30 extra in trade. And town militia, they will be free upkeep. I'm just going to get 2 units just to help keep public order secure in London while it's growing. And hopefully at some point I can speak with the Pope and try to get myself unexcommunicated. In the meantime, Edinburgh, York. Damn those frickin' brigands. Edinburgh's in a good state right now. Perhaps I could take some troops down. Just deal with them. Who's in that army? Longbowmen and town militia. I could feasibly win that with just a general. That's what I'm going to do. Hang on. No, I can't make that with spearmen with me. Cancel that, cancel that. Spearmen get back in the city. I could feasibly win this with just Prince Rufus by getting a good charge on them. Let's try that. They're retreating.
Glory, honor, victory.
Victory indeed. Can we attack them again? Because I want to make sure. Let's try. No, we can't, annoyingly enough. Alas, frickin' brigands, but at least the road to York and Edinburgh is safe and secure now, so we can get some troops up moving north to secure Scotland and then Ireland, and then we'll have a strong power base in England. In the meantime, I'm going to send my ships down towards Nottingham. We can retrain. Hang on. I'm supposing I can't actually do that now. Cancel that because we need these ships retrained just in case we get attacked by anyone. And I can't. I could feasibly get some peasants recruited here, move them down to London, but then that won't be free upkeep, even though it's just 90. Yeah, whatever. We'll leave it for now. Right, let's see what happens in the next turn. Okay, so nothing of interest really. Recruitment law, town militia, cogs retrained.
Yes.
So, you know what, William? I think after helping to secure England the way you did, I think it's time for you to go into retirement in London, the city that you helped conquer. So, in you go.
This is a perfect position.
Wonderful. In the meantime, Henry, you're going to get a chance to prove yourself because you're going on a fleet
We're joining the
and you're going to France. See if these two rebel settlements are ready for conquering.
hail.
In the meantime, Rufus,
I will only address you in
let's go into battle with some... Let's finish this off by going into battle with some brigands, shall we? So unsurprisingly, they've fled again, but not far enough. Captain Ewish, whatever.
my king.
One good charge on both the longbowmen and the town militia should be more than enough to cause a break. Annoyingly enough, though, we are uphill. So let's move to the side, shall we? Where it's a bit more even. Okay, so we've gotten ourselves nicely lined up. Prince Rufus is right here, leading his band of loyal bodyguards across the nice English countryside, where they're going to confront a force of brigands that have been terrorising the roads between York and Edinburgh. So the longbowmen can do damage against armour, and annoyingly enough, I just realised that with this angle, we're actually running through trees. Well, let's actually just get a slightly different angle to make sure that we're completely uninterrupted, even though there are these tiny rocks in the way, annoyingly enough. Never mind, we're being shot at. I forgot, the longbowmen uphill have even longer range than normal. Right. And for whatever reason, they're using flaming arrows. Still, oh dear. We're okay. They're powerful at range, but once we get close, here we go. Kaboom! And please don't be annoyingly stubborn. Oh, that's just taken over. And they're shaken. Come on. Oh dear, I think my king's actually just been bloodied, meaning he's been hit.
We will smash the enemy.
Why are you being so... Okay, they're wavering. Get at them again. Oh dear, the longbowmen are firing again. I think my king just got hit. He's just gotten hit again. If I end up losing Prince Rufus out here, that's going to be really... Okay, Lance is down. Shaken. They've lost pretty much their entire force, and that's a break. Charge, before they can shoot again. Oh, Lance is down. Well, they changed their minds. Okay, they're in skirmish mode now. They're going to retreat. Guys, get back in formation. There we go. They're going to keep running, but cavalry, even heavy cavalry, are a lot faster than them. They can run all they like. You're reaching the edge of the... Oh, there's the captain. If we can somehow... Oh, we stopped to give an order. And now the longbowmen have to turn around. They're steady, but they won't be for long. And thankfully, Prince Rufus is right over here, safe and sound on the other side. And the longbowmen are just in one big clump of infantry getting cut down. You're powerful at range, but you're wearing practically no armour. They're being cut down quickly.
Continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Although they are... I suppose it's because I put it on very hard difficulty. So they're being a lot more stubborn than you'd expect them to be. That's most likely how it's going. Wavering. Christ alive.
The enemy army
There we go.
pursue and run. All of Christendom will be awed.
So that was a bit somewhat more tense than I was expecting, since Prince Rufus did take some hits, but maybe this will give him a good trait of Scarred, which will improve his stats. They're no longer a problem. Oh no, he's gotten a dread point. But he has gotten a loyalty point. Why did you get a dread point? Wait, where is... Oh, willing first, there it is. It's never really clear how you get there, because he didn't actually chase down any routing units. I suppose it's just if the general's unit runs down any fleeing units at all, it has a chance of that happening. Either way, you are going to go up north to help secure Scotland, the rest of Scotland. Edinburgh, I can recruit some more troops. Get some town militia going so we can take this army up north. Wales is now a town. Get yourself some... Whoops. Get yourself some land clearance to help you grow. The army here has got a spawn, and that's good. And Robert is... You're going to go into Kane. And you know what? You're just going to stay there for the time being. I want to make sure that both these settlements are secure. Just because, in case the French get any ideas. Because since we're excommunicated, any Catholic nation can come for us. And it's practically open season. Now that we've got a leather tanner, we can actually start to retrain our troops to give them a bit of armour. So... basic leather tanner and blacksmith and armourer gives upgrades to light infantry, such as padded leather, light mail and such. And then once you get into the higher tiers, such as armour factories and such, which give plate armour, then they're the ones that upgrade the... they're the ones that upgrade the heavy infantry and cavalry, that's it. And convert. I will probably start to convert Nottingham now that I've got the now I've got the money, and Kane will be my main troop training facility for heavy armour and such. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call an end to this episode here. Quite a productive one. We've destroyed Scotland in a rather admittedly anticlimactic battle. In fact, is that their fleet right now? No, there's 3 of them. Right, I'm probably going to want some more troops, actually. Can I... forget the town guard. Nottingham. Get some more ships. I need to make sure... because this fleet is carrying an army in it. I don't want it destroyed. Because pirates can be nasty. Prince Rupert is on his way. So the Scottish were destroyed in a rather admittedly anticlimactic battle. We took over Wales... but now we've got ourselves a sizable army moving up north to secure the rest of Scotland and Ireland itself. Shouldn't be too hard of a battle, especially since Ireland has no walls. And then we're going to drop a force down north to see if these 2 rebel settlements are still rebel. Because if they are, open season for us, we get ourselves a good foothold in northern France. Then we can start to push down further and continue to annoy the Pope as we continue to butcher Catholic nations. I'll hope to see you then.